What is going on YouTube? Hitterback making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video we have a ton of stuff to discuss, specifically, obviously, as every single person probably knows within cryptocurrency, we have seen an impressive drop in volume the past 24 hours. As you guys can see, just a quick glance at the top 10 cryptocurrencies, the market is down, and there are literally cryptocurrencies down 30%. Bitcoin managed to drop over $3,000 in less than a day, which is absolutely incredible and crazy, and this was a huge opportunity for those of you who participated in shorting this cryptocurrency. That is something we want to discuss more in today's video. Obviously, I know there's a ton of stuff going around. Is this in effect with the coronavirus? Is this in effect with the stocks taking a massive dump? The lowest it's been in literally years, 12 years since we've seen a drop that low. Obviously, we're going to continue off that basis and kind of figure out exactly where these markets were going. Was it expected? Was it planned? If you guys watched my previous episode, we did discuss that this was a huge risk that was going to happen within the market. We saw the uncertainty, and as anticipated, we fell down to supports that we previously had discussed. So that is what we're going to be looking at in today's video. Is the market dead? Is crypto over? I know that's what everybody's asking themselves, so that's what we're going to try to answer in today's video. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and let's jump into today's episode. So if you guys watched my yesterday, or the video I posted yesterday, this was in regards to Ripple and XRP and Bitcoin hitting an extremely difficult but certain support level, which you can see was right here highlighted. And I kind of want to just reference this in today's video right now. So let's just pull this up really quick. I want to show you a specific part, and then we'll continue on from there. But this was mentioned briefly in yesterday's episode. What is going on, YouTube? So right here in yesterday's video, literally posted March 11th, if I just scroll down to, I believe it's 441, this was in reference to what I was anticipating to happen with the rest of the market. And I just wanted to share this with you guys because if you guys followed my news, if you had me on Patreon, you would have known that we were going to be shorting this drop, and that is exactly what happened. You can literally see in my title of yesterday's video that critical support is being retested and massive volume is coming, and this is how we are going to be preparing. And as you guys can see, this is massive volume. This candle wick right here is a massive spike in volume, bigger than any volume we've seen in months. And I mean months. The last time we saw anything in relevance was mid-October of 2019. So it's been almost a year since we've seen volume come in at this, rate. And this is what we were expecting. This is what we were anticipating. So it makes sense. Hopefully you guys, profited off this margin. I know I did. And let me just show you really quick what I said in yesterday's video, just for you guys to remember. Very, very high chance we are going to drop fairly low very quickly. On the upside, if we break and hold this support, which hasn't been retested since the beginning of January or the mid to end of January, we should expect to see a recovery and exactly. So that's what we discussed in yesterday's video. That was the two options. As you guys know, we can't necessarily figure out exactly if we're going to drop below, a resistance and just correct and bottom out, or if we're going to recover and swing to the upside. So we have to plan for both. We have to be conservative traders, as you guys know I am, and we have to plan out our plan of action leading for the possibilities of both things to happen. All we knew is that big volume was coming, and we knew it was going to come fast, and it was figuring out how exactly we could prepare for this movement to happen. And if you guys continued to watch yesterday's video, which is very easy to find on my channel, I discussed that if we broke a critical support level on on Ethereum, which was below the $188 support, we were going to see an immediate drop in the price. And as you guys said, as you guys saw in the video, I literally discussed that we were going to fall down to levels as low as this support right here. You can see right there, this is the level, the 125, as I drew in yesterday's video, wherever that is. There's a very, very, very high chance we are going to drop fairly low, exactly all the way down to here. I said we may get caught up at around the $160 margin, but there's a very high chance we would continue to fall all the way down to 125. That is exactly what we did. I also mentioned this. I wanted to share this with you guys on Patreon as to why it is so important to have me on there, as well as use my YouTube as a channel in regards to trading. You can see this is a post that I made 2 days ago on my Patreon. You can see that the Bitcoin sell-off leads to indecision. As you guys know, we did break the 50 Patreon hurdle. So that's absolutely amazing that we broke that. But I was discussing that we are headed for a short. There is definitely a huge possibility of a big short. As you guys know, you can see in the post right here, pause it and read it. But the short entry was at 79.30 or at 83.20. The bears are still winning this. It was a high risk trade and we were going to, short the market down. Obviously, we also played the devil's advocate and set up for a possibility that we could correct to the upside. But the short entry was fulfilled and that did open. And it's still open right now because we didn't close that. There was no stop loss or take profits open. So there is still a huge amount of profit to be made. Honestly, like I said, I'm a conservative trader. So I took my profits when I woke up this morning and saw the price of Bitcoin all the way down at $5,500. I sold it immediately, took my profits and ran. It was not worth getting involved and trying to figure it out. That's what we're here for, to make conservative sideways trades. Now it's basically reassessing the market, figuring out what to do now moving forward, and pretty much go from there. So obviously I know there's a ton of confusion, but there are some things we could reference. Obviously Bitcoin doesn't show enough signs in relevance to where the current price is. We do have a support that it is retesting though. You can see clear as day why it decided to stop down here. All the way back in 2017 and 2018, you can see the clear high-low, or the clear support that cuts right through this massive, descending triangle that we have. You can see this is a clear support that we finally dropped all the way down to. This was a massive whale sell-off. I'm sure we'll get more information about this in a few hours, if not already being out. But we also discussed that in yesterday's video, if we were to break below resistances of 76.50, if not all the way down at 75.50, it would immediately open a short position that we had already planned, and it would immediately correct all the way back down. We didn't really know where a bottom was, but you can clearly see that is exactly what it did. We could pretty much figure out that if a bottom dropped us off on Ethereum, we could put that percentage range onto Bitcoin as well. This is clearly a 33% drop. We would easily just transfer that over to the Bitcoin chart, going for a price range, and then finding out that this is about... Wow, 33% is right here. So on average, that is pretty much the same exact drop that we had within Ethereum happening to Bitcoin. You can see they act very, very, very similarly. And that's what we were figuring out. You can see it was just a ton of uncertainty. We discussed if we broke above the resistance of $8,100, $8,150, we would, probably explode up with this much volume to the upside, retesting levels as high as 10K. But we also discussed a devil's advocate that if we broke through support that was being held at $7,600, there's a very high chance we would drop at a very significant rate. That is exactly what happened all across the market. Every single crypto exploded downwards, XRP, all of them. What is the most extremely shocking thing specifically within XRP right now is for the fact that we actually managed to get above our massive downtrend right here. You can see that we've pretty much had a negative return on our investment for XRP the past 3 years. You can see this clear resistance. The crazy part is we got rejected from its high-low middle moving average on its weekly, and it immediately corrected back down. The crazy part is it looks like it might start to use what appears to be its extremely strong support as a means of heading even lower. I can now extend this out even lower. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you are shocked this year. This is, all-time lows for XRP, unlike the other cryptos. This is an extreme low. It hit all the way down at 14 cents, a low that it has literally not seen ever since the beginning or mid of 2017. So this is absolutely wild. Obviously, we have to let a lot of this FUD leave the market, consolidation to hit. Everything is practically oversold. We're going to have to see and figure out where exactly we lead to moving forward. I do think this is probably closer to the bottom. Obviously, I'll let all you guys know more updates coming out soon on Patreon, but hopefully you guys took advantage of this market. Hopefully you use the shorting opportunity on Dudex. That is why it's here. That is why I push this. This is a massive profit to be made. We, executed a trade that made us a ton of profit. So you guys really have to follow along with all the advice that we're trying to put out here. Lastly, I guess just to wrap up things quick, you can see Litecoin dropping. This was definitely a harder, crypto to follow. You can clearly see that there are some supports, closer to $34. But when looking at Bitcoin specifically, and when looking at Ethereum, as we discussed in, yesterday's video and specifically on Patreon, there was a drop. It could happen. Tons of volume could lead into the market, as you guys can clearly see here, that this massive volume dump was coming, or this massive volume was coming coming. As you guys know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a bullish, which I feel like a lot of you guys assume it is. That's why you guys got to watch the videos and absorb as much information as you pretty much can. But that is going to wrap up today's episode, guys. More information will be coming out shortly on my Patreon, on Twitter. Definitely make sure to follow me. Otherwise, like I said, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.